Imagine this. What would be your reaction if one day you saw yourself on the cover of Forbes magazine? For most people, that would be the ultimate dream, right? Fame, recognition, glory. But let me tell you a shocking story. Colman Mockler, the quiet CEO of Gillette from 1975 to 1991, was once shown a sketch for a Forbes cover. In that picture, he was drawn as Conan the Conqueror, a hero, a warrior, a winner. Just a few hours later, he died of a massive heart attack. Why? Because this man never lived for glory. He wasn't chasing the spotlight. He was fighting for his company, not for his own fame. Today, I want to tell you about leaders like him. Leaders you've probably never heard of. They didn't seek the spotlight, but their decisions shape the world we live in every single day. Take Gillette. Not long ago, shaving was painful and uncomfortable. Then came the Gillette sensor, the first razor with moving blades, and later the Mach 3. Suddenly, millions of men around the world felt, wow, shaving is actually easy now. Behind that revolution was Colman Mockler. He protected Gillette 3 times from being sold off, bet everything on innovation, and gave us the comfort we all take for granted. Under his leadership, Gillette's stock grew 50-fold, and yet he always stayed in the shadows. Or think of Darwin Smith at Kimberly-Clark. When he became CEO, everyone thought the company was doomed, stuck in boring paper manufacturing. But he made a bold move. He sold the paper mills and invested in consumer brands like Kleenex and Huggies. Millions of families around the world still use them every day. Smith was just a quiet company lawyer when he became CEO at 47 years old. A few years later, doctors told him he had cancer and only 1 year to live. He didn't just survive a year, he lived another 25, 20 of which he spent transforming Kimberly-Clark. He died at 88, leaving behind not only a great company, but also a legacy of courage. How many of us would survive such a challenge? And then there's Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA. You know this store, you've probably built their furniture, but how many of you know the man behind it? Kamprad was one of the richest people in the world. But he drove an old Volvo 240 his whole life. He usually flew economy class, he ate in IKEA cafeterias or cheap diners, he lived in a modest home in Switzerland and wore simple clothes. For him, wealth wasn't for luxury, it was a tool to make products affordable for millions of people. He lived 91 years, and his company is still transforming homes around the globe. Another quiet giant, Alan Wertel of Circuit City. He called himself a workhorse, not a showman. Under his leadership, Circuit City grew from a regional store into a national retail powerhouse. After retiring, he devoted himself to philanthropy. Today, at 92 years old, he remains a living example of humility combined with relentless drive. And what about David O. Maxwell? In the 1980s, Fannie Mae was on the verge of collapse. He took over and within 10 years turned it into one of the most profitable and stable companies in America. He always credited the team, not himself. He stepped away quietly in 1991, then dedicated the rest of his life to philanthropy and global peace initiatives. He lived 84 years, leaving behind a company that survived and thrived because of his steady leadership. What unites all these people? They didn't chase fame. They didn't brag on TV or Twitter. They did not collect yachts, mansions, or sports cars. Instead, they built companies that lasted. They made products that improved everyday life. And they lived long, meaningful lives themselves. When things went well, they gave credit to their employees. When things went wrong, they took the blame themselves. The world has enough influences. What we really need are legacy leaders. Quiet, determined people who actually get things done and build something that lasts. You can tell a true leader not by the headlines or followers, but by the impact of what they do every single day. And who knows, maybe the next legacy leader is sitting right here, listening to me now.